Look beyond what you are taught. India was colonized. They were also underdeveloped the same way we are underdeveloped in Africa through colonial activities. But today, India has joined the world power. There is something about education that the British academic system or educational system left for us that is demonic. And until 1980, which is just about 45 years ago, $1 was equivalent to 50 kobo, and 1 naira was equivalent to $2. Today, $1 is almost 2,000 naira. Where did we miss it? The quest for immediate gratification. Reverend Dr. Mas Monroe of blessed memories, and I quote, he said, if purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. Welcome to Daily Inspiration with His Excellency. I'm your friend, Bright Udhedhe-oze. Today I want us to look critically into a topic that is very dear to every one of us as far as this world and the world to come are concerned. And this topic is so important that if we do it well and get it well, more than 95% of life's problem will be solved. This claim is backed by every reasonable research and argument based on physical or spiritual matters as well as otherwise. And that is very short. In fact, it's made up of just 3 words, and it reads, prioritize your life. Prioritize your life. Prioritize your time. It means maximize your life. It means maximize the resources available to you. It means maximize your gifts, your talents. It means maximize your strength. Remember, in economics, the SWOT analysis the SWOT there is an acronym for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So the strength of that SWOT analysis, the strengths and the opportunities are the things I want us to concentrate on so that the weaknesses and the threats will not be able to overwhelm or stop us at any point of the way. Now listen to me very carefully. Strength is beyond physical or physiological abilities. It is far more than that. It concerns even our relationships. It concerns our assets. It concerns different things that are of advantage to us. Basically, such as we create ourselves, we do ourselves, because opportunities are circumstantial. They are not determined by our own ability. They are natural. They happen by chance. In fact, the word opportunity can be interchanged with the word chance. Now, I want us to talk about prioritize your life or maximize your life. Priority means the most important. So when I say prioritize your life, it means make the most of your life. That's make the best use of your life. Make the best use of your time. Make the best use of your intellect. Make the best use of your strength. Make the best use of your wisdom. Make the best use of your connection. Because basically, there are 3 determinants of a man's state and status in life: his net worth, his network, and his self-worth. So, maximize everything available to you. In a world that is confused as ours, in a time that people whom we're supposed to look up to have lost a sense of direction, the only solution to having headway is prioritizing our own lives and all the glories and goodness that accrue to it. Maximize your wisdom. The Bible says gray hair is the splendor of old age. Gray hair here is not necessarily the hair as it were, but it means wisdom. It means experience that comes with length of days, experiences, and all of that. Gray hair, wisdom, is the splendor of old age. That's the glory of old age. Now, that is just the big part of that verse. from the beginning, the A part of it says the glory of young men is their strength. So now that we are young, now that I'm young, I have to maximize my strength. I trek more than any young man of my age and pedigree that I know. And I mean it. It's a way of maximizing my strength. I work longer hours than any young man of my age and pedigree. I'm maximizing my strength. I am more reserved and conserved than most young men of my age and pedigree that I know. It's a way of maximizing my life, because life is measured by time and impact, time versus impact. So, an impact is made by time too. So at the end of the day, the duration of life is measured by time. So when you spend your time with somebody, you are indirectly spending your life with that person. When you spend your time on something, you are spending your life on that thing. So maximize your life, prioritize your life, make the most of your life. I love speaking basically to youths. I love speaking basically to youths and children, because with these people, we are sure of a future, because the youths and children are the custodians of today and the future. They are the hope of today and the future. Leave these lies that our political elites and whatever are telling us. When we were children, they told us children are the leaders of tomorrow. Now we are in the tomorrow. You are telling us youths are the leaders of tomorrow. Now lie. Me, I no agree. Youths are not leaders of tomorrow. Youths are leaders of today. Fathers are leaders of yesterday. Youths are leaders of today. Children are leaders of tomorrow. Most of the people who are oppressing us in Nigeria today, in the political circle, in religious circle, and across the 7 institutions or mountains of society, across the 7 spheres of society, they acquired, they consolidated and acquired that public power across spheres in their youth. Go and ask Tony Elumelu. He began when he was a young man. Ask Bishop David Oyedepo. He began in his teens. Even the Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the president of Nigeria today, began the quest, the pursuit for power, influence of different kinds from his youth. So, young man, prioritize your life, prioritize your time, prioritize your strength. This is the 21st century. As a young man or a young woman, you don't need to be stupid. You can't be following a politician by this time. Oh God. This is the 21st century, and this is 2025. 2025 is 25 years into the 21st century. That is in the first quarter of the century. And whatever the rest 3 quarters of the century will bring will be dependent on what you do or did with the first quarter. Now, this is the end of the first quarter, and you are still following somebody who is 70 years old and is still telling you that you should wait for your time. When will your time be? You are already in your 40s or 50s or 30s earliest, or earliest 20s, and somebody in his 70s is telling you to wait for your time. So in your 20s, late 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, it is still not your time. It is time for somebody in his 80s or 90s. You are not serious. You are still defending somebody who is robbing you of your future. Then you are not serious. You are still defending a politician who single-handedly stole over 80 billion naira and is still gallivanting in Kogi State and the rest part of Nigeria, as alleged and as reported. Nobody me create the story. And you are still following the same person, defending him. Then you must be stupid. Something must be wrong with your head. That somebody is robbing you of your future and you are still following him. Something is wrong. Now, very quickly, I want us to consider the basic or fundamental spheres of influence. And by Christian theology, we call or refer to it as the 7 mountains mandate. That's the mandate of the 7 mountains, the 7 spheres of society, the 7 institutions of society. Number one is the institution of the family. If you fail to plan, as they say, you have planned to fail. If you build your family on a wrong foundation, because the family institution begins from marriage, then from marriage to parenting, and then every other thing will follow. Train up a child in the way it should go. It is quite unfortunate that in the name of civilization or modernization, we have copied rubbish from the West and from other parts of the world. That these days, taking responsibility, domestic responsibility, or home chores or house chores as it were, by children has become a form of child abuse. Telling a child who is over 7 years old to wash plates is now child abuse. To sweep house is child abuse. So children will be home who have grown up even to adolescence. They can't perform any house chores. And then you need to hire a laborer in the name of a cleaner or whatever. Something is wrong with that style of parenting. And that's why the society is getting destroyed and fast getting into extinction as far as morality is concerned. Because you end up training servants who you will also pay at the expense of your children. We now have housewives who cannot cook. Very interesting. A lady I was thinking of marrying some few years ago, I had to end the relationship very quickly because whenever I ask her of work, food, and the rest of them, she tells me she was too tired when she returned from work. So she went to buy food from canteen to eat. Madam, you dey buy food, eat every day. Me, wan marry you. You dey buy food from canteen, eat every day. So if I marry you, you born children, the children go come, they go canteen, go eat. How the children go to learn how to cook? Because I learned cooking from my mother. So if you can't cook as a wife, a housewife, a mother, what becomes the future and the fate of your children? That's number one. Family. In a time that we are given the orientation that family sponsorship must be one-ended, it must come from the man alone. The woman is always at the receiving end. When a woman will stand, a housewife or a wife will stand with her husband and say, my money is my money, your money is our money. Like, seriously? Mom, what are you training the children to be? What are you training your daughters to be? Parasites? Very good. The family institution. And that's why even in the church we have issues today. Because the family is the first and smallest social institution. It is the foundation of society. So if it gets wrong from the family, it must be wrong everywhere. Except by swift intervention of some concerned conscious individuals who will be able to intervene and make corrections. But there will still be some faults, at least at the beginning. The family institution. We can't get, if you get it wrong from the family, you've gotten it wrong. And the worst part of this thing is, it is easier to train a child than to train an adult. It is easier to give the right information than to correct, because it is easier to learn than to unlearn. The family institution. So in a time that the leaders of family institution are perverse in their thoughts, are eroding the tenets of morality and social development, maximize your sense, maximize your strength, maximize your life. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, say, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it comes the issues of life. Number one, the family institution. The next institution is the institution of government, politics or leadership, government. In a time that somebody who wants to become president of a country will submit affidavit of declaration of age that makes him 7 years or 9 years older than his biological first child, you need to use your sense. Man, no dey born pikin under 9. So when somebody when one be president or when be your president, they tell you say born in first speaking at age 7 or at age 9. Use your head. In a time that things are going wrong by the day, in a time that somebody who protested against the sale of fuel, premium motor spirit, PMS, at 87 naira or 80 naira, is the one selling the same premium motor spirit for about 2,000 naira, know that something is wrong. And you need to maximize your head, maximize your sense. Don't, because of peanuts, jeopardize your life. We cannot all be criminals in this country. And at the same time, we cannot all be stupid. We can't be dumb. Politics is a dirty game, but politics is dictating the fate of the society. So we have to play our role, even in the politics, and ensure that sanity and sanctity are brought into place. Otherwise, it will be a mess for all of us. The people you call your godfathers in politics and wherever, they have multiple or at least dual citizenship. Here in Nigeria and other countries. Then you, Mumu, you are defending them. You don't even have Nigerian passport. If anything happens, if they eventually destroy this country with the trend of maintaining and the path they are towing, within split of seconds, they will disappear from here. Now, me and you go there, you suffer the pain, and you defend them. Clap for yourself. The mountain of governments. It is quite unfortunate. Have you ever traveled out of this country before? Just try it someday. Whether by land or by air or by water. The amount of embarrassment you will get at the exit point, whether it is at the airport, at the embassy, or at the border, you'll be shamed. You'll be so ashamed of yourself for ever identifying yourself as a Nigerian. In fact, there are places in this world where if you arrive only identifying yourself as a Nigerian, automatically labels you a criminal until you have proven otherwise by your own lifestyle. Because of those who went before us, the government of the nation. Powerful institution. The third institution, the institution of religion, the mountain of religion. In a time that our spiritual fathers, our fathers in God, the people we call God's generals, spiritual mentors, and any other name you like to call them, are your business. In a time that those people are looking helplessly at the destruction of their members and their brethren without saying a word. And all they can tell us in church is pray for the peace of Nigeria. Pray that God will intervene. And the people telling you to pray, they have the capacity, they have the pedigree to meet the presidents of the country one-on-one and demand that peace and orderliness be brought to place. But these men, they will not do that. They tell you and I to pray. Why they have created dual citizenship for their children and for themselves. And anything happens, they have private jets. They will fly out of the country within split of seconds. Use your brain. I'm talking now. Maybe you watch this video, you come and antagonize me for talking to your GO like that. You be mumu. Just try and first. I will ask you that somebody is using his money to buy plots of land, buy real estate, acres, future investment for his or herself and family, and he's telling you to bring your own money as tithe and offering to build the work of God. He own, they know they use and build God house. Now your own, they say they build house, build God house. You know, say you be mumu. Use their own to buy private jets, to build exotic and expensive mansions for themselves, train their children abroad, get dual or multiple citizenship abroad for their children. Then they kept you here to be praying and building churches and doing this and doing that. I'm not against church. I'm a Christian. Born again, civilized and informed Christian. I be Christian, just that I no be mumu Christian. As somebody is toying with your life, there is a general overseer in this country whose capacity outweighs that of the president outside this country. Even in this country, he has more followers, he has more subscribers, he has more believers He has more capacity than the president. In fact, he's referred to as the father of fathers in this country. That same man stood and led the protest in the days of Goodluck Jonathan when fuel was less than 100 naira. But the same man has a man from his own geopolitical region, if not from his home state, as the president of the country now. And the president of the country now is selling fuel over 1,000 naira. And that same man is telling you that let us pray for Nigeria. The leaders are trying. It is the work of the devil. Let us pray. When Jonathan was selling fuel less than 100 naira, it was his handwork, not the work of the enemy. And Nigeria didn't need prayer then. Now that your own brother is selling the fuel for 2,000 naira, we should pray. You dey whine me, ba? We go know. The mountain of religion, spiritual system, faith system, etc. Men, brethren, and comrades, Christian soldiers, wise up. In a time that somebody will stand up in the Senate or House of Representatives and say, Fulani herdsmen, terrorist Fulani herdsmen, not all Fulani herdsmen, terrorist Fulani herdsmen are terrorizing our communities, killing our indigents, destroying their crops, defiling our women sexually and otherwise, and destroying people, lives and properties, and resettling our communities. And you will hear another man stand up in the same Senate and tell you, Fulani herders are Nigerian citizens, and by the Constitution of Nigeria, every Nigerian has rights to live in any part of the country. Sorry, sir, I didn't tell you there are Nigerians who do not have rights to live in some parts of the country. But no Nigerian is given the right to destroy the lives and properties of other Nigerians in other parts of the country. Yes, sir. In a time that criminals will come from anywhere into a state in Nigeria, destroy lives and properties and resettle the communities, and a reverend father turned a criminal politician, and maybe the governor of a state will stand up and say it is farmer herders clash. You mean Amba? Chena truth. Farmer herders clash. Where the farmers carrying AK-47, people were killed in their sleep, and you said it is a clash. People who are clashing were sleeping. Why the other party clashing came with guns and machetes, slaughtered children in their sleep. You lack empathy, you lack sympathy. You don't care about the life of people. You say it's farmers herders clash. If those people that have been killed were your biological children, will you open your mouth and say the same thing? If they were your biological siblings, will you not be touched by the pain of the loss of a beloved one? But you care little or nothing about them. Come by the title of a reverend father or a governor, or whatever, a senator, a House of Rep member. You don't care about the lives of the people. Wickedness. A typical typology of the devil himself living among humans in human flesh and human fashion. Young man, maximize your head, maximize your strength, maximize your time. These our religious leaders care little or nothing about us. Apart from Pastor Dr. Paul Eneshe of Dunamis, who else do you hear speaking to the evil that Christians are suffering in this country? Before now, we had the likes of Prophet Isa El-Buba, who could stand and condemn evil. Now we have CAN presidents and PFN chairmen and presidents who cannot open their mouth and speak. CAN chairmen have been slaughtered in the north during some time. Churches have been burnt down, and the CAN chairman or president will not talk. The PFN chairman will not talk. Let us pray. Pray for what? Pray for what and pray to who? The God we are serving in Nigeria and Africa is the God of Israel. When God identified himself in the book of Exodus, he told Moses, he said, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Nigeria was not in the picture. It's a borrowed religion. Now, you won't borrow the religion. You won't practice and pass the original owners. In case you don't know, let me prove to you. Are Israelites defending and protecting their country and living in peace by praying alone? In the book of Nehemiah and Ezra, those who were rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, were they building the walls with prayers? No. The Bible said they were coming prepared in two diversions. One hand on tools for building materials or building work, and the other hand with weapons of war. They were prepared for anything because they knew that the enemies were coming. And we in Nigeria, you tell us to pray. Israel, they pray like that. When Hamas tried it, messed with Israel, did you not hear what happened to them? Israel is one of the smallest nations in the world, but no nation on earth dares Israel. They are the most sophisticated nation on earth, technologically and otherwise. They are the most defended nation, despite God's promise of supernatural protection and defense. They devised and strategized and systematized their security. We here in Nigeria, we are playing stupidity in the name of God. Even God will be ashamed of us and these people we call religious leaders. The next mountain is the mountain of education. Very quickly. In a time that the people that were supposed to impart morality, social values, cultural values, the values of peaceful coexistence, unity in diversity, etc., etc. The people that were supposed to teach people to discover the purpose of God in their life, the capacity inherent within them, are the same people who are discouraging the people from studying. The same people who are discouraging the people from researching, from reading. In a time that a lecturer will tell you that if you don't buy my textbook, your name will not be written in the book of life. And some of these textbooks are so poorly written that you can't even read them and understand anything meaningful out of it, because it was produced through copy and paste. Most of the textbooks produced and distributed in Nigerian educational institutions today, from primary to postgraduate programs, if subjected to plagiarism test, it will be disaster. In such a time, what do? Use your head, maximize your life. Don't go to school just because you want to acquire the certificate. Look beyond what you are taught. Japan, China, and the rest parts of the world. India was colonized. They were also underdeveloped, the same way we were underdeveloped in Africa through colonial activities. But today, India has joined the world power. There is something about education that the British academic system or educational system left for us that is demonic. And that is why people go to school just to acquire certificates so that they can come back and not tie modernized chain on their neck, modernized shackles on their neck in the name of tie. You now claim manager or supervisor or clerk or secretary. Mumu. You are wasting your time and life in another man's establishment. You're not thinking of your own life. Maybe because you are stealing some change. There's madness in the Nigerian academic institution. When a lecturer who is made a project supervisor will spell out in clear terms how much each student must pay as project supervision fee. Where is it written? Student project fee. So with that, the students are no longer encouraged to study, to produce and defend their projects themselves. And all the projects, you go search all the libraries and the archives, copy upon copy, nonsense. And that's why when they come out, they amount to nothing meaningful. Most people are doing well today, who are graduates, are not doing so because of the Nigerian schools. No. It was personal decision to be improved and developed from within that has made them whom they are. Some have to buy and pay and attend extra courses, extracurricular courses to become whom they are today. Somebody like myself, I passed through the same process because the Nigerian academic institution have been messed up by the government and the rest of them because their own children do not school here. They don't school here. It is the children of the poor, the children of the less privileged that school here. And so they deliberately destroyed the institutions. And the best they have here are the ones they built for themselves from our collective patrimony and titled them private schools to generate more money for themselves in addition to the one they've stolen from the public treasury. And they mess up the public institutions. The same thing with the hospitals, different places. And that's why when you go to different walks of life, you see ineptitude in its full manifestation. People were not trained, certified illiterates everywhere. People are untrained, people are unskillful in anything meaningful. It has been alleged that if post-mortem examination was to be conducted on people who have died in the Nigerian hospitals and other Nigerian health facilities, whether public or private, it will shock you to know that a great percentage of them died from professional incapability of the medical practitioners. Ineptitude in an institution that is as important as health institutions. It's pathetic. It's cryable, if there's any such word. It's very pathetic. It's heartbreaking. But this is what we've got from the educational system. How I wish we knew how valuable this institution is to society. How come is it that in Nigeria we have thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of young men and women graduating from our universities and polytechnics every year from the Department of Civil Engineering, Quantity Survey, and the rest of them? But the Nigerian government, through its different contractors, do not and does not use indigenous graduates or expatriates for building infrastructures in this country. So what's the essence of the certificates? What did you certify them for? You go and bring Lebanese, Japanese, Chinese, different people to come and build roads, Germans to come and build roads in Nigeria. What of the Nigerian graduates of architecture, of civil engineering, of quantity survey, and the rest of them? They are only good for casual labors. It's pathetic. Very pathetic. What still is that these political caucus, these political elites, are the same people who enjoyed and benefited the goodness of the government of this country who lived before them. The people who are making us to learn in classrooms without chairs are the same people who were accommodated by the government of their days in classrooms with ACs or ceiling fans, with good boards and good learning environment, conducive learning environments. Now it is their turn. They have turned it the other way around, making life miserable for their compatriots. It is pathetic. It's also based on the kind of education they acquired. And it's also traceable to the kind of families they came from. Yes, very true. When people defend nonsense because the person doing the nonsense is from their family or from their tribe, and therefore nobody says anything against evil, we are in trouble. Use your head. Maximize your time. Maximize your life. Build capacity to be able to live independently of these people, because they really mean not well for us. And I mean it. The next institution, the institution of the media. Today we have our ladies going naked on the streets of our communities in the name of what they saw on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and different platforms. Some saw it on their television screens and the rest of them. People who have not crossed the borders of their home states are copying madness from clubs abroad to come and replicate here. You saw somebody wearing bomb shorts in club or wearing pants on singlets in clubs. You decided to wear pants. God, I beg you. You decided to wear pants and singlet as a lady to stroll the streets of your community. The place you are passing by naked or sitting naked, is that place looking like a club to you? And gradually they are bringing those same dress code into the worship places, like the church, for example, some of their churches. And you hear these same perverted religious leaders who will say, let them come as they are. God will change them. Not with the intention of receiving them with that love and compassion of Jesus Christ to receive the sinner and remove the sin from them, but just to pamper and nurse their egos, just to make them and dispose them. It is wicked, it is sinful, it is evil. It doesn't matter the name or the title of the person doing it. It is wicked, it is evil. I live in Asaba. As you pass by, you see people going to church, dressed very funny. You can't distinguish between a person going to church and the person you saw in nightclub. A young man now is helpless in Nigeria. There's nowhere your eyes can see sanctity and morality, even in the church. I'm talking about the church, or I'm mentioning the church more than any other religious worship place because I'm a Christian. Now my own concern me. Charity begins at home. So I'm talking about the church because I'm part of the church. Yeah. You can't distinguish between the person going to church and the person going to the nightclub or going for whatever. It is poor. The media. The same media is underreporting evil that people are doing in this country. Underreport. Myself, I'm a graduate of mass communication with proficiency in journalism and public relations. But I deliberately decide not to practice the conventional or traditional journalism they practice in this country. Because I can't be mad intentionally. I know fit. I can't see evil and applaud it instead of attack it. I can't rejoice with wickedness. I can't sing the praise of the man who is destroying my own life and the lives of other patriots, my compatriots, just because I want to earn peanuts, brown envelope, dirty money. The Bible will refer to it as filthy lucre, dirty money, cursed money. I'll now be singing the praises of somebody who I know outrightly is doing evil. And the person also knows that he or she is doing evil. But you are just singing it's our praise because you need money to survive. Bros, resign from that journalism. Go carry wheelbarrow, push. The people pushing wheelbarrow in Onisha market, some of them are making over 300,000 naira monthly. They mumu. They jump from office to office, collect change, write lies, underreport wickedness and evil. Families are being destroyed. People are being killed, slaughtered by the day. You either don't cover it at all or you undercover it because you want to play to the tune of the government of the day. You are not serious. Journalism, I learned, is the watchdog of the society, the conscience of the society. You must be a watchdog if you want to be here. You must be able to back, call attention to suspicion. You must be able to bite. But this journalism of deaf, dumb, and blind goats, seeing nothing, hearing nothing, knowing nothing, saying nothing, is demonic. It is evil. That's why I still thank God for people like Miss Oji, Mr. Rufai Useni, and some others of Arise News and some others. Thank God there are still such few people. Not only them, there are still few others. But the truth is, majority of the practitioners in this field are very wicked, demonic, terrible people. Because covering evil is another way of promoting or sponsoring it. That's that. Arts and entertainment. Do I need to talk about this? You see David Adeleke. Of all the endowment of that young man, you didn't see his creativity to copy. You didn't see his generosity to copy. It is the tattoo on his cane that you saw that you want to copy. It is how he held women's waist in clubs or different places. Your brain didn't even tell that it's for entertainment reasons. For all I care. It is the nonsense you saw that you choose to copy. Now the entertainment and arts industry are so wide. So wide. Why can't you look for a good role model and copy? All my life, on the media, I've been following reasonable human beings. People like the legendary Nkemowo or Sophia. People like Udhedhe-oze of Africa, Pete Edochie, and their likes. It will interest you to know that because of the late Sam Lokoife, I began studying dictionary as a primary 3 pupil. I began studying dictionary independently because I wanted to build my personal vocabulary from primary 3. Those were people we had as role models from afar, from the media, from the arts and entertainment industries. These days, you copy rubbish. People who tell you to wear trousers without belts, Malians. People who tell girls to wear clothes without breast packs, wear trousers without pants. Mad people are your role models. Sure, you see say something dey wrong with you. Whoever sees good and refuses to do it is a mumu, and to him is a sin. That's what the Bible says. He who knows what is good and does not do it, to him it is a sin. Please rethink your choice. By reason of my study of mass media effects as a journalist, we understand that there are 3 schools of thought to these things. And by reason of that, you have what is called selective exposure. You personally choose the medium or media kind you want to pay attention to. Selective exposure. Then you have selective attention. When you tuned in and saw what is there, the content, you decided to pay attention. You were not forced to stay. Then we have selective retention. You kept it because you wanted to practice it. Don't come and tell me you just saw it and na lie. It's your choice. No, they want yourself. No, they want yourself. Choose wisely. The arts and entertainment industry is so wide. Chinyere Udoma is trending. Ezabata. Wonderful song, powerful song. I'm an Isoko man, I'm not an Igbo, but I enjoy that song. In fact, I currently sing that song so well that it's just few lines of the raps or the few ad-libs that I miss. But the entire line of the song, powerful woman, sweet woman. See songs. You know, see that one, may you follow. Now the one when they naked, they work out, they stretch leg, raise pants for stage. Now you see when you imitate. You know, see now your choice. That's that. Arts and entertainment. Finally, the business or economy. Can you be trusted in the business place? I've employed and fired several people. I've employed people who, of their own conscience, could not stay with me and they ran. I've also worked with people with whom I left my money, my salary, because I couldn't cope with them. Terrible people. People who wash you, serve them like slaves. Then when it is close to the end of the month, when they are supposed to pay, they start fabricating trouble from nowhere. Or just to ensure that they deprive you your take home. I left some of them with my money. They should take. I'm better than them today. Far better off than them. Or than they are. It is in this country that somebody who travels within and outside this country Who even has a base in London or some European countries where they pay laborers or workers daily, and in some places and in some cases per hour, will employ somebody in this country, be paying the person monthly, and be paying the person 10 or 15,000 naira. In a country where 1 kg of cooking gas is 1,500 naira. Working for you in a distance that requires over 500 naira transport to and fro. You gather mind, pay the person 15,000 naira monthly. Can you pay a worker of that same, a worker of equivalent capacity, the same amount for 1 hour outside this country? Outright wickedness. Wickedness to the core. You pay somebody 15,000 in this country, and you also punish the person for not coming to work on time. God help us. The economy. You see terrible businessmen to whom you will supply goods until they sell those goods, use the money for other businesses, make tens and hundreds of turnovers from your own money. They will not pay you the money. Many of them are here in Asaba. Many of them. Many of the big shops here, they are like that. Your own money, you have to beg them or fight them before you can get it back. Supply. Not as if you borrowed them, or you lent it to them. Goods you supplied, they will sell the goods, use the money to go and buy the same kind of goods or other goods from other people. Bring them, sell, make them, and just be consistent turnover and making profit from your money without appreciation or without interest. Wickedness. There are those you will tell to bring supply for you, because you are not there to monitor it, they bring rubbish for you. You can't trust them. My question for you is this. You want to excel in the business place? Yes, sir. But can you be trusted? Can you be trusted with money? Can somebody entrust his or her business to your care and go to sleep knowing that it will be safe with you? Most of the CCTVs in shops and different facilities in this country are not kept there because of thieves who will be coming from outside, but the thieves within. The staff, the employees, are the reason why business owners are spending and wasting money on security gadgets, because you can't be trusted. See person money, your eye go open. Then pay your salary, no go belle for you. Because it is both-sided. It is not one way. The employee has his problem, the employer has his problem too. We'll touch both sides of the coin. Don't fear person face. Look at me. Don't fear people. Don't fear anybody. I have the capacity to be a ringleader. But for the grace and calling of God through Jesus Christ, to be a national development influencer, I am what I am by His grace. Otherwise, I have the capacity to be a ringleader. I'm braver and more courageous than my cage mates who are cultists. My koro eye strong past Igbo and Ogogoro put together. I don't fear anything. When I was in Rivers State as a youth corp, I was serving Elele Alimini. I was trekking from Elele Barracks back to Elele Alimini, back to the community secondary school in Elele Alimini between 10 and 12 midnight, all alone. I don't fear anything. I've come to that point in life where I'm not scared of any human being, anybody, including the devil. And I'm not scared of anything, including death. Yes, sir. I lose nothing if I die today. I've given so much to humanity. And the rest of my life is also dedicated to humanity, not myself. So I lose nothing. I have nothing to lose if I die today. So I'm not scared of anything. I will say the truth the way it is. We must sit up. We must maximize our lives. Any office you occupy, any position you occupy in these 7 institutions, from the family to the government to the religion to education to media, arts and entertainment, business or economy, any position you occupy, any assignment you are given, do it as unto the Lord. Know that you will account for your life before God. I'm speaking so passionately because I know I will account before God for these things I'm doing. And that's why I established earlier that I'm not scared of anything, including death. Research has it that people of my kind don't live very long. Jesus Christ died around 33 years old. Bruce Lee died very young, less than 30. Martin Luther King Jr. died less than 40. Miles Monroe died a few years ago, less than 60. Just name them, just like that. So, longevity in this world is not my problem. I believe life is more of impact than duration. The only thing that was accounted for Methuselah is the length of days. No impact written anywhere for him, just length of days. There were people who